Madhya Janad, Sunday morning, the 16th, I want to say, of November, about 7 in the morning. And I want to make a note about anger. A lot of people believe that anger is just a terrible thing in general. One of the worst pieces of advice I heard around the Salvation Army shelter where I am is one resident said to another, "Don't get angry, don't get angry." The issue is how you use it. If you express your anger in destructive ways, sure, that's not good. But if you use your anger to protect yourself or others, which is the way I use it, I like it. I like it a lot. I like that I've reclaimed it. I didn't have it when I was younger. I recently was sick for 6 months, and I spent 2 months in hospitals in Mexico. And on Christmas Day, I was in the hospital in Playa del Carmen, and an Irish Catholic priest who had been in Mexico a long time and spoke fluent Spanish and had a very large Catholic parish in Playa del Carmen, was visiting people. I said, "Wow, this is a busy time for Catholic priests. How do you find time for this?" He says, "I always try to do that on Easter, visit the sick in the hospitals." So I was telling him about this whole thing, and he says, he was Irish himself, he says, "It's part of the race, man. It's Irish, the Irish temper." And it's something in all my studies of being Irish, because it's been an important part of who I am. I had never quite run across that, and I liked it a lot. Wow, it's part of my Irishness, which I am proud of overall. So, 6 years ago, I had a big spiritual experience, and the thing I found was that without making a choice about it, I just started being lots tougher in enforcing my own boundaries and in protecting other people and dogs, babies, children. So this morning in the cafeteria, a young white guy that I had had a good encounter with yesterday, it was our first, he's new here, big tall guy. We were off on a good start, but in the cafeteria he was saying a bunch of racist thing about Jews. And I said to him, "They? Who's they? Do you know all Jewish people?" He said, "Well, I know they all come from Israel," which, he was a big giveaway that he knows nothing. And he continued to do it even after my attempts to stop. And in mid-sentence of his, I screamed, "I don't like stereotypes." He says, "So why do you keep talking?" And I said, "Because I'm trying to shut you the fuck up." Yeah, I don't abide fools gladly, and consider it my responsibility when there's racism in the room to interrupt it. I was telling my Jewish dentist in Chicago about how, she had referred me to a guy for a root canal, and as he was numbing my jaw, he told a racist joke, assuming it'd be fine with me. So when he got back in the room, I had my coat and tie back on and I was leaving, and I said, "I'm not going to let a guy who tells racist jokes work on my mouth." So I told her that story. And a few months later, she says, "I was at a meeting of the Dental Society the other day, and a guy at the table was telling a racist joke, and I thought about you." I stopped him. I was so happy. Ripples. It's one thing if we do stuff to try to stop racism, for example, but when you see ripples that someone else has been inspired to act that way too by what you did, that's the good stuff. Yeah.